I'll never forget that Halloween weekend in 2022. It was supposed to be one last carefree night before adulthood hit, but it's the night that still keeps me awake. It started like any senior party. Cheap beer, loud music, people pretending high school was everything. My girlfriend Jade and I went dressed as Jack and Sally. My best friend Michael and his girlfriend Morgan were Chucky and Tiffany. Jake, a teammate, hosted since his parents were out of town. Among the crowd was Bob, the quiet kid everyone knew, but never really talked to. Same hoodie, greasy hair, awkward smiles. I'd had classes with him and tried to be nice. Jade once mentioned he used to have a crush on her. That always made things feel off. He came wearing a Jason mask, tried making small talk while I played beer pong. I was polite, but hoped he'd leave. Around 2 a.m., people were passed out, and it was time to go. We found Michael puking in a bathroom, helped him up, and as we headed out, Bob appeared again. "Hey, can I get a ride?" he asked. I didn't want to, but said yes. We dropped him first, then Michael and Morgan. By the time Jade and I got back to my place, it was close to 3. We crashed in the basement room, half asleep when Jade whispered, "Did you hear that?" At first, I thought she was dreaming, until I heard slow, heavy footsteps right outside my basement window. My dog, Bear, was asleep beside the door. The dog door was locked. Whoever was out there wasn't him. Jade wanted to check. We went upstairs, opened the back door, and stepped into the cold. The yard was empty. Just as we turned to go back inside, an animatronic next door, one of those Halloween props with glowing green eyes, suddenly came to life. I nearly jumped out of my skin. We ran inside, laughing it off. But later that night, when I turned off my lights, I saw a faint green glow seeping through my window well, like that animatronic was standing right above it, staring down. I froze, didn't breathe. Eventually, the light vanished. Next morning, I called my neighbor to joke about his creepy prop. He said, "That's weird. We're out of town. Everything's unplugged." My stomach dropped. Later, while helping Jake clean up after the party, I noticed something on the basement floor. A Jason mask. Bob's mask. Jake swore no one was supposed to go down there. I don't know what really happened that night. Maybe it was some sick prank. Maybe not. But every Halloween, when I see those same green lights across the yard, I still feel that same chill, like someone's out there, waiting to be noticed. I was 14 the night I stopped believing Halloween was harmless fun. It was 2003. My parents had just divorced. Dad worked nights, and I was told to take my 7-year-old sister Emily trick-or-treating. I felt proud to be big brother in charge. That afternoon, I saw a note taped to our mailbox. "I would die for you." No name, just those words. I crumpled it and threw it away before Emily saw. That night she dressed as a fairy princess, me in my old skeleton hoodie. Everything felt normal, kids laughing, pumpkins glowing, until a man's voice called behind us, "Hey kids, come here." We turned. Emily screamed. At a window, half hidden by curtains, stood a man in a clown costume. The face paint was smeared, his grin wide. "Come in," he said through the glass. "I've got all the candy you can imagine." Even Play-Doh Emily clutched my arm and we ran, not looking back. When we reached home, our front door was wide open. The house was empty. I locked it and turned on the TV. Hocus Pocus played while we counted candy, trying to forget. Then came a knock. Slow, deliberate. "Who's there?" I called. A deep voice answered, calm and certain. "I'm Jesus Christ. I'm here to save you from the evil of Halloween." Every hair on my neck rose. Emily began crying. We ran to Dad's room and locked the door. I called him. No answer. Then a silhouette appeared outside the window. Tall, wearing a pig mask. "It's okay," the voice said softly. "I'm Jesus. I died for the sins of children." He tapped on the glass, humming a strange melody, then whispered, "Let me in, or I'll slit my wrists tonight while I watch you sleep." Emily buried her face against me. I couldn't move. The tapping went on forever, then stopped. I don't remember falling asleep. When Dad came home past midnight, I tried to tell him. He brushed it off, said we were imagining things. The next morning, a blank DVD lay on the porch, written in Sharpie, "Do not watch unless you love Jesus." I should have thrown it away. Instead, I put it in my PlayStation 2, static, then grainy footage. Someone on stilts walking through the woods, another nailed to a cross in a field, an overweight man in white makeup eating ice cream with his hands, a twitching face in black and white, and faint whispering behind the static. I ejected the disc, terrified, and handed it to Dad. He said he'd toss it. He never mentioned it again. I still don't know who that man was or what he wanted. Maybe a prank. Maybe not. But every October, when I see old decorations or a cheap pig mask, I hear that calm voice again. "I'm Jesus Christ. I'm here to save you from the evil of Halloween." Some nights don't fade. They stay alive in the dark corners of your mind. For me, that night was in 2008, the night I met the man who sang to the dead. It was late autumn, the kind of cold that burned your fingertips. My uncle had died 2 weeks earlier, and my dad wasn't taking it well. I was 17 and didn't know how to help him, so I just stayed quiet. Around 11:30 p.m. one night, I couldn't sleep. The house felt heavy. I put on my jacket and walked to the cemetery down the hill. It had always been peaceful to me, a place to think. Fog drifted through the trees as I reached the metal gates, creaking with the wind. The air smelled like rain and wilted flowers. Then I heard it, a faint sound carried by the wind. A guitar. Someone was playing a slow, trembling tune. I froze, scanning the gravestones until I saw him. A man sitting cross-legged near my uncle's grave, holding an old wooden guitar. He wore only a thin shirt, head tilted toward the sky. The song was soft, like a lullaby for no one. "Hey," I called. My voice echoed. He stopped playing, slowly turned. Even from that distance I saw his eyes, pale, unfocused, like he was looking through me. "You shouldn't be here," he said. His voice cracked. "Neither should you." I tried to joke. He smiled faintly and strummed another chord. "I'm not here," he said. "Not anymore." Then I saw the gravestone before him, not my uncle's, but his own. Same name, same middle initial, same last name. My stomach dropped. "You're alive," I said. He smiled wider. "Maybe you're wrong about that." I ran. Didn't look back. My heartbeat drowned out everything. The guitar didn't stop. It followed me, the melody floating through the fog. When I got home, I locked the door and sat shaking. For seconds after, I could still hear faint strumming outside before it finally faded. The next morning, I told Dad. He stared at me. "You saw him too, didn't you?" He pulled an old photo album from the cabinet. Inside was a black and white picture of a man holding a guitar. Same face, same eyes, same half smile. "That's your grandfather's brother," Dad said quietly. "He died before I was born, buried beside your uncle. Later, we went to the cemetery. The grave looked exactly as I'd seen it. Same name, same crack, except the ground in front looked freshly disturbed, as if someone had been kneeling there. Dad said it was an animal. I didn't argue. That night when I tried to sleep, I heard it again. The faint guitar, slow and off-key, drifting from far away. Every year since, around the same date, I wake to that same tune outside my window, and I never open the curtains, because deep down, I know if I do, he'll be sitting there again, cross-legged, smiling, whispering through the music. I told you, I'm not here anymore.